Hello, everyone, and welcome to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer, Logan Landers, and we have a tremendous game preview coming up for you here between the LSU Tigers and the 1-0 UCLA Bruins. It's going to be a great matchup, and I can't wait to get right into it. Of course, I can't talk about this game by myself, so I have to bring on my man representing the 901 to its finest, Mr. Football Vincent Turner. How you doing today, sir?
How you doing this morning, Logan? It's football time in the state of Georgia.
Yes, it is. Football is back. Finally, we've been talking about it for months and months now, just clamoring for it. We've done all the team previews we could possibly get out there, and now it's time for game previews, one of our favorite times here on the show. Of course, it's myself, Mr. Football Vincent Turner, our amazing cast with our great producer, Jeremiah Long, Kevin the Bull Jones, one of the best coaches in the state of Georgia, and, of course, former Atlanta Falcon and Florida State Seminole, Bobby Butler. So we appreciate all the hard work that we've all of you guys have been doing. And we thank all the fans for watching us. We go live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch each and every week. We thanks all the support. All those shares to those Facebook groups have helped us out tremendously and help us grow and just reach a brand new audience, of course. So thank you so much for that. Also, please go check out our podcast if you haven't done so already. We'll upload daily episodes about anything and everything football, whether it's game previews, team previews, amazing legends interviews with greats of the past from college, the NFL, former Super Bowl champions, you name it, we have it over at 100 Yards of Football. And that's brought to you by the Believe Podcast Network. And we thank them for their service and everything they've been doing for us for quite a while now. All right, let's get into this one, Vincent, the game that we've been waiting for, LSU and UCLA. Please tell the fans at home, how do you think this game is going to go? And give us your thoughts on LSU Tigers first and foremost.
Okay, the LSU Tigers. We know last season they had a very, very tough season. But think about this, and I don't understand why the media killed Ed Orgeron. They lost a lot of players, man. They had, 13 players taken in the 2020 NFL draft. They lost a quarterback that was the number one overall pick in the draft. And then he had so many problems last year, the injuries they had. And then it was a change in a new defensive coordinator, Bo Pelini, who they thought was going to work out. But LSU just had so many things that are happening. And you know, when you're unstable at the quarterback position, that's going to be problems. But when you look at LSU, I like LSU because of one thing. Certain schools bounce back. LSU has talent. And everything you think about LSU, you got to think about this. LSU. And you know Ed Orgeron is laying in the weeds to prove that the Tigers are still one of the best teams in the country. They're coming into this game ranked 13th. And if you want to think about LSU and you think about the history of the program before I break down the team, all you got to think about is October the 31st, 1959. One of the greatest players that played at LSU, Billy Cannon, took a punt back 89 yards against Ole Miss, broke 7 tackles. And that part right there is going to always stay in the history with LSU football. Now let me break the Tigers down. First, let's start on the defensive side of the ball. I'm not going to start offensively. Durante Jones, like the great Stephen Arrington said, the nation is watching you. We're watching you down there in Baton Rouge because last year LSU defense gave up 34 points. And when you look at overall, what really sticks in my mind, I don't see that coming this year because they got 2 guys on the outside, the NFL cornerbacks, that's NFL royalty. Derek Stingley Jr. and Eli Ricks. Then they got a transfer coming over from Clemson by the name of Mike Jones. And they still got one of the best defensive tackles in Glenn Logan. So I expect LSU is going to take it up a little bit and be much more better than giving up 34 points a game. Then offensively, when you look at the Tigers, they always are going to keep a good offensive team. And they're always going to recruit at a very high level because there's our football players in the state of Louisiana. But I tell you what, I like the quarterback, Max Johnson, royalty. His daddy won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2002. And what I like about Max Johnson, when he took over the last 6 games, he had 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. So what that tells me, he's a guy that can protect the football. LSU is going to be all right at the quarterback position. I expect Mac Johnson is going to have a big year. The running back position, John Emery, it's time for you to step up. Use a 5-star. When you was coming out of the state of Louisiana, Georgia had offered you. You committed to Georgia, then you decommitted. You came back to LSU. It's your time, young man. You're a junior. And Keyshawn Boye is one of the best receivers in the country. Remember, he put over 300 yards on Ole Miss. LSU is a very strong football team, but this is going to be a tough game on Saturday when they go up to LA and play the UCLA Bruins. But I like this LSU team. I like Coach Ed Orgeron. A lot of people might not like him, but I love him. He's a guy that talks the talk, walks the talk. Last year, LSU didn't have a great year. They didn't go to a bowl game. He didn't blame it on nobody. But I tell you what, this year, they're going to be ready to roll come Saturday against UCLA.
It's going to be a tough one. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk like some people think, Vince. I think that LSU is not going to have a battle. It's going to be a war, man. It's going to be a good game, though, I think. I think the Tigers, like you said, it was a rough year last year. I don't think a lot of us expected them to struggle as much as they did, especially on defense, giving up that many points a game. But I think they're coming into 2021, of course, with Coach Ed Orgeron, who's one of the best motivational speakers as a college football coach. So I think he's got his team fired up, ready to just say, forget 2020. It's a fresh season. We got a brand new squad. We got some new players. We got some guys who've been here for a while who are ready to get closer to that national championship again. So I think it's going to be a good day for the Tigers, man, of LSU. But before we get over to UCLA and how the Bruins will perform, we have some exciting news, guys. Our podcast is partnering with PlayActionPools.com this season to bring some interactive fun to the sport we love the most. You'll be able to get in on the action with our PlayActionPools.com Football Pick'em Challenge, which is open to everyone. But here's how it works. You sign up for our contest, the Believe Football Pick'em, at PlayActionPools.com, and then get your picks in each week. We're going to select the 10 highest profile games of the week between the NFL and college football, and whoever gets the most picks correct each week will win a pair of electric sunglasses and a pair of DC shoes. Once again, go to PlayActionPools.com and sign up for the contest. Believe, that's BLEAV, Football Pick'em. And if you plan on hosting your own football contest, go to PlayActionPools.com today. They've got Survivor, Pick'em, as well as a cool sportsbook-style concept called Bill Your Bankroll. PlayActionPools.com, your new home for all of your office sports pools. All right, Vincent, let's talk about these Bruins. They were they're one of the few teams to play last week. 1-0. They beat Hawaii, and they beat them pretty soundly, too. So how do you think the Bruins will fare against the Tigers this upcoming week?
When you think about the UCLA Bruins, man, especially the history of their athletic program, of course, the basketball is royalty, John Wooden. Football had some great years. But when I think about UCLA, it's one thing I like their fight song. Dun, 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 dun. And then think about this. It's Mike Sherrod coming back. It's Freeman McNeil coming back. It's Mel Farr coming back. It's Gary Beeman coming back. It's pretty boy Troy Aikman coming back. It's Jerry Robertson coming back. It's Kenny Easley coming back. Well, what I saw last weekend, UCLA beating Hawaii 44-10. The Bruins are for real. The Bruins are for real under Mr. Kelly. They are for real. What I like about UCLA, very impressive performance last week. Over 266 yards on the ground. I like their quarterback. Another guy who I think is a very underrated prospect for the Heisman Trophy, Doran Thompson Robertson. He's special, even though he had only 130 yards passing last week and one touchdown. But go back to YouTube and look at that 44-yard touchdown laser that he hit Mr. Kazan Allen for a touchdown. This young man is special. And then I like the Bruins. Their run game was off the chains, 266 yards. My man, the transfer from Michigan, Zach Jumbay, had a very excellent game. Brenton Brown. The Bruins are back, man. And when I say they're back is look what they did defensively. They had one of the best all-purpose football players in the country, and Kevin Turner Jr., to only 50 all-purpose yards last week. I like Devin Kirkwood on the defensive side of the ball. I like Totona Jackson on the defensive side of the ball. And, man, when you look at the Bruins are for real. They are for real. They had a quarterback Their run game is solid, and it's going to be a very tough football game for LSU. And one thing I liked about the Bruins last week, they got physical on the line of scrimmage. Go back and look at the YouTube highlights. They were very physical on both sides of the ball. So that being said, it's going to be a very close game, but I think LSU is going to prevail at the end because I think they're a little more talented. I'm taking LSU 24, UCLA 21.
All right, we got a close one here. I think I'm with you, Vincent. I think the Tigers will win this one. I think it is going to be a close game. LSU's got to go on the road in Pasadena and play in that beautiful stadium out there at UCLA. So I think my final predictions, I'm going to have it be LSU 34. I'm going to have them score a little bit more. So LSU 34, and I'm going to give UCLA 28. So a high-scoring affair. If you like offense, if you like a physical kind of football, this is definitely the game for you. So once again, thank you guys so much for checking out our video live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Also, please go check out our podcast and subscribe over there. We upload every single day. So thank you guys so much for that. Mr. Football Vincent Turner, please give us your final thoughts on this game between LSU and UCLA, and we'll wrap things up today.
I think when you look at both teams are looking for respect. LSU wants to get back in their role at the SEC West as one of the teams that can challenge Alabama and make it no point they want to get back on this stage. I really like Max Johnson as the quarterback. He's a guy, he's got pedigree. His father played at a high level in the football league, in the National Football League, and LSU has got offensive playmakers. UCLA, this is going to be a very tough team in the Pac-10 this year. Physical. Chip Kelly has a team that I think he finally, after 4 years, that they can be proud of. And they got a very special quarterback in Doran, Thompson, Robertson. He's one of the best playmakers at that position this year in 2021, the college football season. So that being said, we got two fan bases that like to party. Their student body is off the chains. Their student body is excited. So my final words, it's like the great man out of Florida, KC and the Sunshine Band. Do you want to go party? Will you get funky there? Party and drink a little wine. They're going to be drinking a little wine in LA in the Rose Bowl. This is going to be a very good football game. LSU and UCLA Saturday night on Fox. God bless. And y'all have a wonderful time enjoying the game.